What attracted you to this company, and what are you doing now with this company to reach success?
Thank you very much. So first of all, what I have to do is a little bit of housekeeping, because I talked lightheartedly about disagreeing with my friend Steve. Steve Campbell is one of the primetime leaders in network marketing and one of the people who's been responsible in many measures for my own success. So it's true that there is room in the boat for you to not think the exact same way that I think about certain things. Some things we need to think the same about, but each of us will respond to some parts of the message based upon our own life experience, both historically and today. And so we don't have to all be the same. We all need to be the best that we can be, and we need to make sure that our efforts are cooperative and combining and edifying and growing the efforts of others. Now that said, the question was, why did I choose this company? It's very, very simple. Many years ago, I've stated for years that I've never had a single unique thought. People frequently refer to me as a leader today. What I really am is perhaps the best follower you will ever encounter. I find people who are accomplishing what I want to accomplish, and then I do what they teach me to do. I remember it was Nathan Ricks, one of the people who was instrumental in my success. About 90 days into my experience, many years ago, he was teaching me a principle. And I interrupted him. I said, "Well, Nathan, I think." He said, "Randy, stop yourself. What you think makes no money. What I think makes a lot. And so you need to stop thinking like you think and start thinking like I think." And that was the absolute truth. And at that moment, did I say, "Gosh, Nathan, thanks for that guidance"? No. But years later, I thought to myself, thank God for that guidance. Because if I kept thinking the way I was thinking, I would keep getting what I was getting, and it was never going to approach what I wanted. Okay, so ultimately, why am I here? If there is a single unique thought that I've ever had, it is this one. Probably somebody taught me and I forgot. That's probably the case. But I've always thought of the company, the entity, the opportunity as a vehicle. And so the first key, by the way, I used to call this keys to the creation of wealth. And then what I realized is that most people, if they make more money, don't have more money. We live in a borrow-spend society. Most people, if their income goes from 100,000 to 120, their lifestyle goes from 130 to 150. All that happens is they qualify for more debt and they have no more money. That's the truth. And so I no longer call this the keys to creation of wealth. Making money and having money are not the same thing. Having money and creating wealth are not the same thing. A lot of different skills, knowledge, expertise has to come along. So today I call this keys to the creation of a large income in the shortest possible period of time. And so let me first ask you all a question. Would you like to create the largest income in the shortest possible period of time? Yes or no? Yes. Then if you put this model to work for yourself once in your life, you will have a financial breakthrough. I, of course, believe the model is most appropriately applied right here, right now, but you decide that for yourself. The first key is to find a vehicle that is going the direction that you want to go. And that seems so obvious, but you know, I was once a stockbroker. I was a senior vice president at Merrill Lynch. And imagine that I called Mr. Campbell. I said, "Mr. Campbell, Merrill Lynch believes that based upon your risk-reward criteria and your portfolio, that you should have 1,000 shares of IBM. Shall I execute the order?" Well, if Mr. Campbell said yes, then he would spend $270 for a share of IBM. He would pay a 50-cent per commission. Merrill Lynch would keep 25 cents. They'd send me 25. That made me $400,000 a year. Today, any of us can get online and buy 1,000 shares of IBM and pay 0 commission. And so nobody will ever again, as long as this life goes on, no one will ever again have a career as a retail stockbroker that mirrors what mine was. Because today you can do for free what I used to get paid $250 to do. And yet people are standing in line at graduate schools trying to become brokers right now. They're getting involved in a vehicle that is going backwards. They don't know it. I meet people every day, they're involved in vehicles that are going backwards, and they tell me they're going to go forwards. No, you're not. If the vehicle is going backwards, the strongest swimmer in the world can dive in the river, swim upstream for a short period of time. They are going to change. They're going to get exhausted, and they're going to go the direction of the flow. First key, find a vehicle in the direction you want to go. Second key, I drove from Heber City down here today, and I glanced at my speedometer. The Jeep that I was driving was going 65. So if my vehicle was going 65, how fast was I going? Going 65, folks. I meet people who are in vehicles that are going slow, and they tell me they're going to go fast. No, you're not. That defies the laws of nature. You can go from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, but you will shortly be marginalized to the speed of the vehicle that you occupy. That is the truth. So the first key is to find the vehicle in the direction you want to go. The second key is to find the speed at which you would like to grow. The third key is to find that kind of a vehicle that is dramatically closer to its point of origin than it is to its ultimate destination. I buy Apple stock. I buy Apple stock every quarter. When I buy Apple stock today, I'm buying a company that has a $1 trillion market cap. Is most of its growth behind it, or is most of its growth in front? The vast majority is behind it. Maybe it will double in size, maybe it will triple in size, but it's not growing 1,000 times more, is it? So either you were there in 1984 or you weren't. Either you invested before it became big or you did not. Either you were there and you became one of the foundational investors, or you built upon a foundation created by somebody else. One of those two things. The only way to have a financial breakthrough is to identify a vehicle going the speed you want to go, maybe the direction you want to go, maybe the speed at which you would like to grow, that is enormously closer to its origin than its destination. And the final key is this. And by the way, most important lesson I've learned about making money in my life, and I know that a lot of people have not been as focused on that as I have been and likely will remain. The real key is this. It is to stop struggling and trying to make something happen. I'm one of those guys, I'll get up earlier, I'll stay up later, I'll make more phone calls, and Rick, if 10 people in a row give me a good, hard, solid no, that won't change the attitude I have when I make the 11th call. That's not the way most people are. What I find is that many people retreat from the very first obstacle. Folks, occupying the vehicle is going to accomplish nothing for you. The single greatest key to the creation of wealth is stop struggling, stop trying to make something happen, instead find that which is destined to occur, and you become one of the catalysts that causes that which was going to happen anyway to happen a day or two more quickly. That's where the money is. And so, over the course of my career, why has it been what it's been? It's because I stopped struggling years ago. I started searching to try to identify vehicles, issues that were going to occur with or without me. Periodically, I've had this, Randy, did you get involved in Tranzact card because they need you? Heavens, no. If I thought Tranzact card needed me, I would not get involved. I got involved because Tranzact card does not need me. I got involved because I don't have to make it happen. And by the way, this is the greatest test. If you think Tranzact card requires you for it to succeed, don't do it. And if, in fact, you think you could marshal all of your energy, if every person in this room banded together and said, let's stop this from happening, if you believe you could stop it from happening, don't do it. But if you arrive at the conclusion I've arrived at, this is going to happen whether or not I do it, period. It's going to happen quickly whether or not I do it. If I then, as a result of my knowledge, skill, expertise, and willingness to work, can cause that which was destined to occur a day or two more quickly, that will be the 5th time in my life that the bell has rung for me financially. For many of you, this is the first chance to ring the bell. Maybe you didn't know until now what the model is. Now you do. Find a vehicle in the direction you want to go, maybe the speed at which you would like to grow. Find a vehicle closer to its point of origin and its destination. Find one that doesn't need you to succeed. Find one that if you tried to stop it from succeeding, you could not. If you find that one, get involved and invest yourself in it completely, totally, and absolutely. Whether or not you know it, you found it. Now the question is it the right time in your life to act upon that which you have found? I hope it is. My very last thought for all of you is this, my time I know is spent. Each one of us has a personal brand. It's not surprising to me that I very frequently say things that offend people, because if we allow people to stay in the pattern they're in, they're going to continue getting what they got. And simply being the same person, the same attitudes, habits, and demeanors, occupying a different vehicle is not going to produce a changed outcome. And so, recognizing that I will offend many, and I'm okay with that, I ask you all, do you think less of me because I chose to show up dressed today? Did you become less interested in doing business with me because of the way that I showed up? What I want you all to know is this. A well-groomed man will only be enrolled by a well-groomed man. A poorly groomed man doesn't even know he's not poorly groomed. And he doesn't know that the person on the other side of the desk made the decision when they walked in the door. That is the truth. I've never had a person say, I'm not doing business with Randy because he shows up with his shoes shiny. I've never heard somebody, oh my God, let's not be business with Randy. He ties his tie correctly. Let's not be business with that guy. He shows up on time. And he follows the rules. You see, we get a chance to decide in advance how big an impact we'll make on the company. The size of impact you make on the company is going to determine the size of your results. I say a lot, I say it fast, I offend some. I hope I didn't offend you, but what I said I believe to be true. God bless you.